Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. And I was on the NFL website pretty much just looking at the schedule for next week. Then I came across a link that was talking about the NFL 2018 Hall of Fame. It sends you to a page that pretty much, huge list of players, and it lets you vote of who you think should be in the Hall of Fame. Notable names: Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, Donovan McNabb. I think these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. There was one name, though, that has caused quite a bit of stir these last couple of years, and that's Terrell Owens. The guy should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just going to put it as simple as that. The guy should be in the Hall of Fame. But he's probably going to get snubbed again, but he was on that list. And I think it's ridiculous. I think the whole voting process has been a complete joke, and I'm going to get into why I think they left him off, just from reading an article from one of the voters. But let's get into his numbers. 8 seasons with 10 touchdowns. 2 of the seasons where he didn't have 10 touchdowns, I believe in 2003 and 97. Let me be sure. No, it was 2003 and 2010. So in 2010, at 37 years old, 983 yards, which leaves him, because he had 9,000-yard touchdown season. He almost had 10 with that season. He missed some games. He would have got it. But he had 9 touchdowns in 2010. He also had 9 touchdowns in 2003. Looking at, and this guy was still getting it done when he was old, 37 years old with that Cincinnati team. Because I remember that team, that was a team with Chad Johnson and Carson Palmer. But all-time numbers: 2nd in reception yards, 8th in receptions, 3rd in touchdowns. The second in receptions behind Jerry Rice. 3rd in touchdowns behind Jerry Rice, behind Randy Moss. The guy's got it done. And just looking at receivers who are in the Hall of Fame, who you scratch your heads like, why isn't T.O. in the Hall of Fame? But before I say that, Morton Anderson last year, a kicker. Now obviously kickers probably judged differently. He was a good kicker. But a kicker got put in before one of the greatest receivers of all time? Huh? But looking at receivers that are in the Hall of Fame, just real quick: Chris Carter, Tim Brown, Marvin Harrison. These guys should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree. But you're trying to tell me that Terrell Owens has gotten snubbed the last couple of years, and those guys are in there? Those guys are great players. But I think Terrell Owens is better. And I find it to be completely ridiculous. But to get into the reasons why I think he's been taken out, or why he's been snubbed, just looking at an article. Let me see if I can find the article real quick. What was the guy's name? But yeah, it was a wild dude named Gary Myers, whatever. He was talking about Terrell Owens, and he was talking about locker room crap. He was a locker room cancer. So out of all the people that are in the Hall of Fame, or possibly getting into the Hall of Fame, Terrell Owens was the only guy who was considered a locker room cancer. He had no major off the field issues. He had the reality show, which people, I guess, garner him some more hate. But let's just boil it down to this: those guys voting just don't like T.O. He's in recent memory, he's one of the more unlikable in terms of perception. He's not a very liked guy. So that's what it came down to. They don't like T.O., so they're not going to vote him in, despite how good he was on the field. And that's what matters. That's what should matter. Unless you're a coach, if you're a player, you should be voted in for what you did on the field. You should be voted in for what you did on the field. And this guy, you look at his production. You go back and look at the games. The guy was out there producing. Is he a diva? Here's a fucking list of divas. He's not the only diva. But that's why I feel as though It's a complete joke. You're not gonna vote in a great player because you don't like him. They made it clear. Reading this article, it's clear there's a bias towards him. So we'll have to see how the Hall of Fame goes. I know I'm doing this video early, but it was just on my mind just because I've never made a video talking about the whole Terrell Owens not getting put into the Hall of Fame debacle. And until he gets put in the Hall of Fame, you have to look at it as a joke. Are there players who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Fuck yeah. There are a lot of players who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But there are a lot of players who you would look at and say, you're trying to tell me that these guys are in here and Terrell Owens is not? Art Monk, great player. Played a lot of seasons. You're trying to tell me Terrell Owens is not in there and he's in there? I mentioned other guys. And I kept it to receivers. You can name some other players. Quarterback Bob Greasy. These guys are in there, and Terrell Owens is not. They make it so obvious why. They try to construe it as being something else. You just don't like the guy. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. What do you think about Terrell Owens being snubbed? Do you think he's gonna get snubbed again? What do you think about the Hall of Fame voting process? Like I said, I think it's a joke. Until he gets put in, it's gonna be a joke to me. It's an enshrinement of the greatest players to ever play your sport. Not someone you just don't like. Not to leave him off just because you don't like him. But like I said, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.